Good afternoon. I'm Dana Huey. We are getting new and devastating information about the deadly flash flooding in the Texas Hill Country as the death toll continues to rise, and we get confirmation from Camp Mystic about their campers lost in the floods. We have now learned at least 82 people are dead, including 28 children. Now, keep in mind these numbers are sadly changing as more hours pass since a water wall overtook those along the Guadalupe River, especially in Kerr County. Right now, it's being reported about 41 people are still missing, including campers from Camp Mystic, and the governor is warning of flooding still happening in the area. Now, Camp Mystic confirmed this morning that they are grieving the loss of 27 campers and counselors, and they're in contact with authorities who continue to tirelessly search for their missing girls. In a statement, they said in part, quote, "Our hearts are broken alongside our families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. We are praying for them constantly." They went on to say, "We ask for your continued prayers, respect, and privacy for each of our families affected. May the Lord continue to wrap his presence around all of us." Well, Texas is mourning the loss, as we mentioned, of dozens of people now, including those young summer campers. And that number could continue to rise, according to authorities. Nydia Cavazos reports from Kerrville.
Camp Mystic has issued a statement saying it is grieving the loss of 27 campers and counselors who died during the devastating flooding that hit central Texas over the 4th of July weekend. Officials say the death toll is expected to rise as they continue the desperate search for the missing.
We are still currently in the primary search phase, which is the rapid one. They're running into a lot of technical challenges with terrain, with water, even potentially, with weather.
8-year-old camper Lenny McCown of Austin died in the storm. Her father confirmed, as did 18-year-old Chloe Childress, a counselor from the Houston area who had just graduated high school, and Camp Mystic's longtime owner, 74-year-old Dick Eastland.
Thank God my granddaughters are okay.
Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter said his 2 grandchildren survived, but their cousin, 9-year-old Janie Hunt, died. She's related to Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt.
God has wrapped his arms around her, in our thoughts and prayers with all of them.
In Kerrville, Emily Gutierrez told CBS News her cousin Leo's house was swept from its foundation. She said Leo, his wife, and their 2-year-old son are still missing.
As much as we want to pray and hope, there's only so much a human can actually hold on. All the muck, all the dirty water, all the trash, the trees.
Jessica James says she's volunteering in search and rescue operations.
It's gut-wrenching watching all of this happen. I mean, it happened so fast, and I wanted to come out sooner, but I also didn't want to be in the way of waiting for things to get done.
The floodwater surged early Friday. The National Weather Service says extreme rainfall caused the Guadalupe River to swell more than 20 feet in less than 1 hour. Nydia Cavazos, CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
Yeah, man, it's very, very devastating. Natural disasters can happen, especially in Texas, because, when it rains like hard, it's kind of like Florida, when it rains, hard and it rains long, it kind of floods. But unfortunately, when it comes to this, a lot of people has lost their lives. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take on this?
It's Mother Nature at its work, at its best. It is sad just to see things like that. And, I'm just upset at the mayor and the governor, because there was no evacuation warnings for the people that were actually living in the town. And it's just, I'm just trying to be very, very careful on what to say when it comes to the aspect of things like this. Especially when, kids are missing, people are missing, and even though the whole United States was celebrating, because it was the birth of our nation on July 4th, and then you have this situation that transpired, which is just heartbreaking. To me, I saw it the next day. That's how nobody knew this was actually going on. That's why I was like, man, it's just, my love and my condolences go for the people that pretty much was affected by this, and you still have kids that's missing, and they can't find them. So it's tough, man. It's tough. Go ahead, again. It's tough.
My biggest thing is, where was the warnings? You know what I mean? Usually when things like this happen, there's like, you know what I mean? They say, hey, this not looking too good. I think it's time to get everybody to move out of here. So that's what I'm wondering. Where was the warning? You know, I do pray over the families and the people who lost a loved one. Plus, this was a girls' camp, so that also hits a little bit different. And you know what I mean? Imagine people who are not able to swim, and sometimes you can't fight the winds and large materials hitting you, shrapnel, all that. So it is a devastating thing to hear. But I just wondering, like, how can we be, what preventative measures we can take to know that, hey, if it sounds like it's about to get wild, we need to go to higher ground.
Yeah, absolutely, Hakeem, and like Texas, they do experience, you know, natural disaster. They experience hurricanes, you know, they do experience the snow. And with this, you know, they do experience heavy water, heavy rain when it comes to, like, you know, what happened this weekend. And it's just, you know, sad to hear that all these lives are lost, especially the kids' lives and everything. And you know, when it comes to, I'm just gonna go straight to the governor. The governor has to do a better job when it comes to natural disaster. Telling folks, you know, when it comes to, you know, they have like when it comes to rain, tornadoes, you know, hurricanes and everything. You know, you got to make sure, you know, if you got to do a state of emergency, go ahead and do that and everything. If the whole state, when it comes to rain and everything, because you know, like I said, I don't think a lot. I don't think a lot of people don't know, or Texas people know. It's like when it rains like a long, like for like if it rains for hours and everything, it's like I said, southern part of Texas, which it happened in right by, you know, the counties of San Antonio. That, you know, when it comes to the ground they live, it overflows like that. And to me, I don't know what type of, I don't know if they had no plan or anything, but you know, it's just like this stuff right here, you know, it should have been prevented somehow in some way, especially around, you know, knowing that, the rain is coming, and it you know, and people didn't know it's going to be like this and everything. So this is very, very heavy to, you know, to my hearts and our hearts on the show. And we just pray for the families that lost their loved ones, especially the kids, because this is so heartbreaking.
It is. You take your kids to summer camp and they find out they are gone. Very, very, it's very, very tragic. Shout out to Goddess Forever that's also in the building. She said they're lying. I don't know how true that is.